Hi, I'm Mark Donovan from HomeAdditionPlus.com, and today I'm going to show you how to install a mortar shower pan for a ceramic tile shower. The first thing you need to think about when building a mortar shower pan is the framing structure of the shower. And as you can see here, basically what we have are 2x4s on 16-inch centers around the frame of the shower. You'll notice that in the corners we have blocking material so we can allow the backer board to firmly sit up against the 2x4s or 2x6s if you use them. If you look over here, what we have is blocking put in for the shower fixture. And if you notice near the edges here, we've got some additional blocking in so that when the door that gets installed on the shower stall has a surface area to mount to. In the base of the shower, you'll notice that we've added 2x6 blocking along the perimeter of the shower. And this is to act as somewhat of a form, but also to hold the shower membrane liner material that we're going to attach to it shortly. Second of all, we've added 3/4 inch plus another 1/2 inch of plywood on top of the 3/4 inch subfloor to really get a nice firm solid base. You really want to make sure there's no flexing going on, else you'll find your tile wind up cracking over time. We've also put in the equivalent of 3 2x4s. I used a 4x4 plus 1 2x3 for the curb. And this has been liquid nail glued as well as screwed to the floor into floor joists. So this is nice and rugged. Finally, you'll see we have an adjustable shower drain assembly here. First step is to remove the adjustable drain barrel and the drain clamping mechanism from the base drain system. And then I'm just going to apply some duct tape here in the base of the drain assembly just to make sure we don't get any type of mortar or other types of material into the drain while we do our work. So what I've just done is I put in 15-pound felt paper onto the base of the floor and up against the sides 1 inch or 2. The felt paper acts as a slip sheet between the mortar and ceramic tile and the base subfloor. Second of all, the felt paper helps to avoid the moisture from the mortar wicking into the wood as it cures. So the next thing I've done is I've laid metal lath in the base of the shower pan to act as a reinforcement for the mortar mix. And I'm just using a staple gun to hold it in place along the floor. You want to make sure it's flat so it doesn't penetrate up and out of the pre-sloped mortar area. Okay, so what we've done now is I've taken a pencil and in a straight edge and I've drawn a line along the perimeter of the shower wall area approximately 1 inch above the base of the subfloor. And this is such that it'll create a gentle, about 1/4 inch per foot slope toward the drain. The drain itself is approximately 1/2 inch above the base of the subfloor. So when we go out and put our mortar in, we want to have it slope upwards. Again, approximately 1 inch off the base of the floor in this particular case. Okay, so what I've done now is I've mixed up a bag of mortar, sand top mixing quickcrete mortar, with 3 quarts of water. This is a 60-pound bag. And I've troweled it into the shower pan area such that it slopes up from the drain to the lines that I put on the perimeter of the shower wall. We're going to let this set up overnight, and then tomorrow we'll return and put in the shower membrane liner itself, and then backer board, and then one final layer of reinforcement mortar on top of it. So prior to putting the actual membrane liner down, I'm putting felt material on the framing walls, and then we'll put the cement board on top of that, at least to halfway down. Then I'll put the membrane liner on and then finish up with the cement board. Alright, so now I'm actually installing the backer board, cement backer board, to the walls, at least for the first upper 5 feet. I'll then do the membrane liner. It's important when installing the backer board and using a thin set mortar, you put the rough side facing outwards. In addition, you want to use like a rock-on screw specifically designed for Durock. Okay, I've begun to install the shower membrane liner. Basically, I'm folding it over in the corners and tacking it in with roofing nails approximately 6 inches off the base of the floor. Once I've got 2 corners in, I'm now going to move toward actually cutting out a hole for the drain. So now that I've folded a couple corners of the shower membrane liner, I'm basically trying to expose the bolts by drawing an X over each of the bolts and then pushing the bolt through. Now I can cut out the center of the drain assembly to expose the drain. Okay, so now I'm going to run a bead of pure silicone caulk around the perimeter outside edge of the base drain assembly such that it forms a tight seal with the underside of the shower membrane liner. Okay, I cut out 4 notches for the weep hole areas that are associated with the clamping bracket. Now I just lay the clamping bracket on, turn counterclockwise, lock it in place, then I'm going to tighten it up with a wrench. Okay, so now I'm putting the barrel drain head into the clamp, just screwing it down to approximately the depth of the mortar that we're going to put in here for the final reinforcement layer. But however, I'm going to leave it above the mortar level by about 1/4 inch to take into account the finished tile that will sit up flush with it. So we're just wrapping up the folds over the curb now and tacking it in on the outside edge. You don't want to put any nails, roofing nails on the top or the inside edge, or else you'll have a leaking problem. Okay, now that we've completed installing the shower membrane liner, I'm going to go back and put the remaining backer board along the base to within 1 inch of the base of the shower pan itself. Alright, so I completed installing the backer board. A couple of points I wanted to make was that you want to make sure you have a drop cloth and some cardboard down to protect the membrane as you're standing around in it, putting in the screws. Second of all, you want to make sure your screws don't go any lower than 6 inches of the base of the shower pan, so you don't have any leaks. And then finally, you want to use a silicone caulk in all the seams to prevent any water to seep in around the seams. So now we're going to set the height on the drain barrel to approximately 1 1/4 inch, so that we'll have about 1 inch of material of mortar here, leaving us 1/4 inch of space for the tile. And we're going to slope this up again slightly to about 1 1/4 inch, 1 3/8 inch at the edge of these walls to get the right slope. And then finally, just before I put the mortar in, around these weep hole areas, I'm going to put a few pebbles in to make sure that the mortar doesn't clog anywhere near the weep holes. This is so that any water that does work its way down through the mortar and hits the membrane liner will go out through the weep holes into the drain. Okay, so now I'm in the process of actually troweling out some mortar. Once I get enough in the bottom of the pan, I'll then float it with a different mortar trowel. But as you can see, I'm working from the drain area outwards. So now all I'm doing is floating the mortar, smoothing it out nice, and then we're nearly done. Alright, to mortar the curb, I put metal lath over the curb and nailed it on just the very outside. We'll then add mortar now to complete the job. Alright, so now I'm just troweling out the curb, basically floating it on all 3 sides. And as you can see, we're starting to get a nice square shape. And we'll just do this a little bit more and we'll be done. So that's it for installing a mortar shower pan. We'll let this set up for about 24 to 48 hours and we'll be ready to install the ceramic tile. If you want more specific instructions and detailed pictures and diagrams, visit HomeAdditionPlus.com and order our shower pan membrane liner ebook. Again, if you have other home improvement questions, visit us at HomeAdditionPlus.com today.